Alright guys, so once you're done making any changes to the artistic side of things, I gave you a list of things to do that I called artistic, meaning maybe changing a color or adding a different expression, these types of things. There are a few technical changes I need you guys to make. Some just involve, making sure layers are labeled properly. But the big one that everyone has to do is turning everything into a symbol, right? So there are a couple of reasons that we have to do that. Now, one of those reasons has to do simply with, we had talked about before, that anything that is not an object cannot be animated. So if we have, say, this woman's hat here, these are just drawings, right? They're not even in object form. So we need a way for those to be objects, right? Any one of these pieces. So the way to do that is to select it, hit F8 on the keyboard, convert it to a symbol, specifically a movie clip. Movie clips allow us to use any of the bells and whistles on any tweening, and these other symbols do not allow that, right? So movie clip, make sure you always name all of your symbols, and each symbol needs to have a different name, so you can't just say leg, leg, leg. You have to say upper leg or left leg, things like that. All right, so that's one reason, is to make something that is just a plain drawing an object. The second reason is in order to simplify animation. Sometimes you may have a couple of different pieces that are all technically going to be in the same place. They move as one piece, right? So, for example, I have his upper body here, and I have his little stripe, shoulder thing, and these are never going to move separately, or at least if they do, it would be a rare occurrence. So usually I'm going to want these to move together. To make my life easier, I simply shift select both of them, I hit F8, and I can turn that into a symbol, specifically a movie clip. And now you can see it's a little bit different when we select it. It's got the little white hash mark in there, blue outline. Now I can animate this as long as it's on its own layer, right? And the third reason is if something is made up of, say, an outline and a fill, again, we need these to be combined. There's no reason why you would have an outline usually moving separately from its original, or it's from its fill. All right, so for all of these reasons, each individual thing needs to be within a symbol. So the best way to look at that is to think, figuring out which things go in which symbols. Well, all right, so his foot, there's a fill and there's an outline. Well, I would select both of those, put them into the same symbol, call it right foot, and that's all one symbol that can be animated. Same with maybe his belt and his belly here. It depends on how your character is designed. I would want both parts of this eye to move the same way, but some of you may have, wild and crazy ideas about your character, so you'll want the two eyes to move separately. Obviously, two different arms will move separately. The character of this woman, I can keep her hat separate or not. It depends on what I would be animating. So maybe in this case I would simply combine everything because I know her hat's going to be moving at the same way as her head. And remember, these are not permanent. You can always, if I make these into a movie clip and I decide later, oh no, I want her hat out of there, well, I can just double click, I can go inside here, and all those pieces are still separate, right? So you don't have to worry about oh my gosh, this is undoable. It's always undoable, right? So you can always make a separate face and hat symbols if you need to. All right, but we went over in class how to turn things into symbols, how they will show up in your library, and what you need to do to accomplish that. But these are the reasons why you need to do them for this particular assignment. This is sort of like prepping it for animation. We will not actually be animating these, but it's good practice to, keeping yourself organized and just getting an understanding of how something might need to be presented to your client or to your project manager or anything like that.